said, a Muslim army will come out of Khorasan. I said, when you see the black flags coming from the direction of Khorasan, go and join that army, even if you have to crawl over ice. Meaning, even if you have to disregard and disobey the Security Council of the United Nations. Disregard and disobey any government and every government, including your own government. Because you follow this man, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is your leader. Go and join our army, even if you have to crawl over ice. Because no one will be able to stop that army until it reaches Jerusalem. Indicating that the return of Islam will come through this army, which when it liberates the territory of Khorasan, of which Afghanistan is the heart, it will not stop there. It will proceed to liberate every other territory in a straight line up to Jerusalem. Those who today control the world, the Gog and Magog world order, will be destroyed by Allah Ta'ala through disease. About those Muslims, this is what the Prophet said. He said that my ummah is like the rain. My ummah is like the rain. I do not know which shower is better, the first or the last. So the last Muslims, the ones who will join our army, the ones who will fight to liberate our territory from occupation and oppression. That army and those Muslims who support that army would have a status that will be so high that the Prophet says, I do not know which shower is better, the first or the last. But you could get this subject in more detail in my lecture entitled Imam al-Mahdi and the Return of the Islamic Caliphate. You have it outside. In fact, about 18 lectures that I delivered in Trinidad, I brought them with me. We got a nice label for them, and we have them outside as DVDs. I'm not allowed to mention any price in the masjid, but they're very, very reasonable. And you can get the entire 18 lectures outside, one of which is Imam al-Mahdi and the Return of the Islamic Caliphate. The Prophet ﷺ said, by him in whose hand is my life, I swear to you that the Son of Mary will shortly descend amongst you, and he will break the cross, and he will kill the swine, the pigs, and he will abolish jizya. He said, how would you be at that time when the Son of Mary descends amongst you and your Imam will be from within your ranks? All of these, I've given you two examples, all of these are hadiths plus many verses of the Quran confirm that Nabi Isa alayhi salam never experienced something called maut. Not wafat, maut. Maut. And Allah says, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every soul must taste maut. And he never experienced maut. And so it is a literal return. He will return literally. And when he returns, he's going to get married. Literally. I hope, of course, to be a Palestinian girl. And he'll have children. Literally. He will have children. There's no that of us. And he'll live for 40 years and then he'll die and be buried next to me. Literally. Literally. And the Muslims will perform the Salatul Janazah over his body and be buried next to me. So the return of Nabi Isa alayhi salam is an actual event that will take place.
One is about symbols. We're talking about symbols. So we do talk about the small symbols of doomsday. And you are oblivious to the symbol. Do you consider that as sinful and Allah? Second question is
One of the guys. If I understand correctly, there are small symbols and there are big symbols. And there is a need to interpret symbols. Whenever a servant of Allah seeks to interpret symbols, he must continuously say, only Allah does not make mistakes. Only Allah does not make mistakes. Even if you interpret a symbol and your interpretation is not correct, you still get blessings for it. Because you're making an effort. And as a result of the effort that you're making, another servant of Allah may be able to come to the correct answer because of the effort that you made. So, to seek to interpret symbols, particularly in this age, will bring blessing. I hope I've answered you.
second is about Dawah in community.
Dawah in Trinidad.
The purity is Hindu and Christian as mentioned. And maybe Muslim is not 10%. So how do we go about
The major question is, how do we do da'wah in Trinidad when we are so small in numbers and you have so many Hindus, so many Christians and so on? The major Hindu organization in Trinidad is hostile to Muslims. Hostile. I called the man who is in charge. First time in my life I'm speaking to him on the telephone. The man was rude, insulting to me. First time we're talking. I am, if not the senior most Islamic scholar, one of the senior most Islamic scholars in the country, and the one who is most in the public eye. And that's how he treats me. What did we do? We organized a Hindu-Muslim dialogue on religion and politics in Trinidad and Tobago. We broke new ground. We held it in the hall of the masjid. And we invited a pundit who was also a man in politics. He was also a medical doctor. Said, you come and you dialogue with me. And a number of pundits came to attend the session. And so long as you're not hostile to Islam, I treat you with respect. If you're hostile to Islam, we can't be friends. And this man was not hostile to Islam. No. The pundits who were present were not hostile. And we had a dialogue that was very fruitful. We found that there was a lot of common views between us. But it impacted on the Hindu community very positively, despite the fact that the organization was hostile. And then as I